I could write a letter, the kid I used to be, sitting in that trailer park, dreaming he'd break free. I tell him that he will, but not the way he thinks, that freedom doesn't come from money or the drinks. He'll someday use to numb the pain of growing up too fast. I tell him to hold on, that this won't always last. Dear younger me, I know you're scared and alone. I know you think the trailer is the only home you'll ever know. But trust me when I say there's a whole world waiting past these angry days. These are letters to my younger self, words I wish I'd heard when I was drowning in the silence of unspoken hurt. Letters to my younger self, telling him it's okay to cry, to break, to fall apart, to find another way. If I could reach back through the years and hold him when he fell, I'd write these letters to my younger self. I tell him that the beatings aren't his fault at all, that his daddy's anger has nothing to do with how small or weak or worldly. They closed the factory in 08, put 3,000 on the street. My daddy was one of them, worked that line for 30 years complete. Never missed a day, never called in sick. Then one Tuesday they told him thanks for making them rich. Gave him a cardboard box and a handshake week. He died 6 months later, couldn't handle the defeat. They said this town was finished, told us all to leave, find somewhere with opportunity, somewhere to believe. But we're still here, still standing in the rust, building something new from steel and dust. This is a Rust Belt resurrection, rising from the dead. We ain't leaving, ain't conceding, ain't running scared. This is a Rust Belt resurrection, watch us come alive. The factories are gone, but our spirits survive. We're rebuilding from the bottom with our calloused hands. This is a Rust Belt resurrection, we're making our stand. My brother started a business in the old warehouse space, hires guys like him who got left without a place, teaches them new skills, gives them second chances, says we write our future, not some corporate advances. My sister opened up a coffee shop on Main Street, where all workers gather and their stories meet. We're not waiting for saviors to come fix our town, we're rolling up our sleeves, we ain't backing down. This place raised us, taught us how to fight, now we're fighting back, bringing back the light. This is a Rust Belt resurrection, building something new on the foundation of the old, on what got us through. This is a Rust Belt resurrection, phoenix from the ash. We're taking back our future, making our own path, with pride and determination in our hearts and hands. This is a Rust Belt resurrection across this land. People drive through and they see the decay, the boarded windows, the factory's gone away. But they don't see what we see when we look around. They don't see the resurrection happening downtown, in the community garden where the parking lot used to be, and the kids learning coding where the assembly line ran free, in the art studios where they made car parts, in the music venue where they broke our hearts by closing us down, by walking away. But we're still here and we're here to stay. My wife and I bought a house for
10,000 cash, fixed it up ourselves from all the crash of neglect and time and economic depression. Now it's worth something, now it's our possession. Not because of value, but because it's home where our kids will grow and never roam away from here. We'll teach them to stay, to fight for their town, to lead the way. Yeah, it's hard and yeah, we struggle still. There ain't no easy money, no quick thrill of success overnight. But there's something real in building back slowly. That's how wounds heal. And this town was wounded deep and wide, but we're stitching it back with Midwestern pride. This is a Rust Belt resurrection, and we wrote the book on how to rise from nothing when everything was took. This is a Rust Belt resurrection. We're proof you can survive when you got community and the will to fight to stay alive. We're building back better with our working hands. This is a Rust Belt resurrection across these lands. And we ain't done yet, we're just getting started. The best is yet to come. So don't count us out, don't write us off. Don't think we're finished just because we're tough and scarred and weathered by economic storms. We're the Rust Belt resurrection, and we're being reborn. If I could write a letter to the kid I used to be, sitting in that trailer park dreaming he'd break free, I'd tell him that he will, but not the way he thinks. That freedom doesn't come from money or the drinks. He'll someday used to numb the pain of growing up too fast. I'd tell him to hold on, that this won't always last. Dear younger me, I know you're scared and alone. I know you think the trailer is the only home you'll ever know. But trust me when I say there's a whole world waiting past these angry days. These are letters to my younger self, words I wish I'd heard when I was drowning in the silence of unspoken hurt. Letters to my younger self, telling him it's okay to cry, to break, to fall apart, to find another way. If I could reach back through the years and hold him when he fell, I'd write these letters to my younger self. I'd tell him that the beatings aren't his fault at all, that his daddy's anger has nothing to do with how small or weak or worthless. There's a ghost in my passenger seat every time I drive. Your memory riding shotgun, keeping pain alive. I turn to tell you something, then remember you're gone. But I keep talking anyway, keep carrying on. These conversations with the empty air beside me, where you used to sit and your presence used to guide me. I know it sounds crazy, talking to the dead, but you feel more real than the life I'm being led. Without you here, without your voice, so I keep you close, it's my choice. There's a ghost in my passenger seat, and I won't make her leave, even though everyone says it's time that I should grieve. Let you go, move forward with my life, but you were more than my woman, you were my wife. And I'm not ready to drive these roads alone, so there's a ghost in my passenger seat, coming home.
We used to take this highway every summer to the lake. You'd have your feet up on the dashboard, for goodness sake, singing off key to whatever song came on. Now it's silent except for my memory strong. I can still hear your laughter, still see your smile. So I drive a little slower, make it last a while. They say the stages of grief will come in time, but I'm stuck somewhere between denial and trying to find a way to live without you in this world. So I keep pretending you're here, my girl. There's a ghost in my passenger seat, wearing your perfume. At least that's what I smell in this empty room. On wheels, going nowhere fast, trying to hold on to what couldn't last. But I'm not ready for you to fully go. So there's a ghost in my passenger seat, moving slow. The kids are worried, say I need to talk to someone, say this isn't healthy, say my grieving's not done right, that I'm stuck and need to move ahead. But they don't understand, you're not fully dead. As long as I remember, as long as I can feel your presence next to me, you're still real in some way, in some form I can't explain. And I'm not ready to let go of that pain, because the pain means you were here. And if I let go of the pain, you disappear. I know logically you're not really there. I know it's just my mind playing tricks, my heart's repair mechanism trying to cope with losing you. But logic doesn't matter when love was true, is what we had, as deep as what we shared. You were my person, and I'm still scared. But lately something's changing in the way I drive. I'm starting to feel your presence saying be alive. Stop just existing, stop just going through the motions, start living again despite these emotions that are holding you back, holding you down. I didn't die so you could drown. There's a ghost in my passenger seat, but she's smiling now. Not sad or haunting, but peaceful somehow, telling me it's time to live again, to honor her memory by finding joy, finding when life calls me forward to not refuse. There's a ghost in my passenger seat, helping me choose to live, to love, to laugh once more. She's opening a long closed door, so maybe she'll ride along a little less each day. Maybe that's how healing works, a gradual fade away. Not forgetting but releasing the hold so tight, letting a memory become something light instead of something heavy that weighs me down. There's still a ghost in my passenger seat, but now she's helping me be found instead of lost. And maybe that's the point. Maybe she's been here all along, not to keep me stuck, but to guide me through until I'm strong enough to drive alone. But no, I'm not alone. She's always here, just differently. There's a ghost in my passenger seat, and she's setting me free.
They closed a factory in '08, put 3,000 on the street. My daddy was one of them, worked that line for 30 years complete. Never missed a day, never called in sick. Then one Tuesday they told him thanks for making them rich. Gave him a cardboard box and a handshake week. He died 6 months later, couldn't handle the defeat. They said this town was finished, told us all to leave. Find somewhere with opportunity, somewhere to believe. But we're still here, still standing in a rust, building something new from steel and dust. This is a Rust Belt resurrection, rising from the dead. We ain't leaving, ain't conceding, ain't running scared. This is a Rust Belt resurrection. Watch us come alive. The factories are gone, but our spirits survive. We're rebuilding from the bottom with our calloused hands. This is a Rust Belt resurrection. We're making our stand. My brother started a business in the old warehouse space. Hires guys like him who got left without a place. Teaches them new skills, gives them second chances. Says we write our future, not some corporate advances. My sister opened up a coffee shop on Main Street, where old workers gather and their stories meet. We're not waiting for saviors to come fix our town. We're rolling up our sleeves, we ain't backing down. This place raised us, taught us how to fight. Now we're fighting back, bringing back the light. This is a Rust Belt resurrection, building something new on the foundation of the old, on what got us through. Oh, on what got us through. This is a Rust Belt resurrection, phoenix from the edge. We're taking back our future, making our own path with pride and determination in our hearts and hands. This is a Rust Belt resurrection across this land. People drive through and they see the decay. The boarded windows of factories gone away, but they don't see what we see when we look around. They don't see the resurrection happening downtown, in the community garden where the parking lot used to be, and the kids learning coding where the assembly line ran free, in the art studios where they made car parts, in the music venue where they broke our hearts by closing us down, by walking away. But we're still here and we're here to stay. My wife and I bought a house for 10,000 cash, fixed it up ourselves from all the crash of neglect and time and economic depression. Now it's worth something, now it's our possession, not because of value, but because it's home where our kids will grow and never roam away from here. We'll teach them to stay, to fight for their town, to lead the way. Yeah, it's hard and yeah, we struggle still. There ain't no easy money, no quick thrill of success overnight, but there's something real in building back slowly. That's how wounds heal, and this town was wounded deep and wide, but we're stitching it back with Midwest and pride. Fight a Rust Belt resurrection, and we wrote the book on how to rise from nothing when everything was took. This is a Rust Belt resurrection. We're proof you can survive when you got community and the will to fight to stay alive. We're building back better with our working hands. This is a Rust Belt resurrection across these lands, and we ain't done yet. We're just getting started. The best is yet to come from this Rust Belt resurrection. Don't count us out, don't write us off. Don't think we're finished just because we're tough and scarred and weathered by economic storms. We're the Rust Belt resurrection, and we're being reborn. I've forgiven my daddy for the bruises and the scars. For the nights I came home swinging, smelling like the bar. I've forgiven my ex-wife for the lies and the affair, for taking half of everything and acting like I wasn't there. I've forgiven all the people who said I'd never change, who wrote me off and walked away when life got strange. I did the work, I made amends, I set them free. But there's one person I can't forgive, and that's me. The weight of forgiveness is crushing my chest. I gave it to everyone but kept it from myself. They say letting go will set you free and give you rest, but the weight of forgiveness is all I got left. How do you forgive the man in the mirror looking back? The weight of forgiveness is the heaviest pack. I hurt my kids by choosing pills over showing up. Missed birthdays, missed games, couldn't fill their cup with the love they needed, with the father they deserved. I was too busy drowning in my own disturb, mind my own pain, my own selfish hell. And now they're grown and distant, and I know it all too well. They say they understand, they say they moved on past, but I'm still stuck in all those moments that I can't get back. Every recital I missed, every tear they cried alone, plays on repeat like a horror film I'm forced to own. The weight of forgiveness is breaking my back. I gave it to the world, but I can't cut myself slack. They say grace is free, but I can't accept the fact. The weight of forgiveness is what I lack. The strength to look myself in the eyes and say, the weight of forgiveness can wash away. My sponsor tells me I gotta do step 9, make my amends, draw the line. But how do you make amends with yourself? How do you forgive when you're your own personal hell? He says you start by accepting you did the best you could with what you had, with what you understood. You were sick, you were broken, you were barely alive, and the fact that you're here now means you survived. That has to count for something, that has to be enough. But man, this forgiveness thing is tough. So I'm standing in the bathroom, looking in the glass at a face I barely recognize from the past. Gray hair, deep lines, eyes that show the wear of 40 years of running from the truth laid bare. And I'm trying to say the words out loud. I forgive you, but I don't know how. My therapist says to write a letter to myself, to the boy I was before I needed help. Tell him it's not his fault how things turned out. Tell him he did the best he could without a doubt. But I can't pick up the pen, can't find the star, can't seem to unlock this frozen heart. The weight of forgiveness is teaching me grace, that maybe I don't have to be perfect to deserve a place at the table in this life, in this human race. The weight of forgiveness is changing its shape, from a burden to a bridge, from a prison to escape. Maybe forgiveness isn't something you achieve, it's something you practice, something you breathe. The weight of forgiveness getting lighter each day as I learn to forgive myself along the way. I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you for not being perfect, for making mistakes, for being human, for being broken. I forgive you, and maybe that's enough. Maybe that
the weight of forgiveness finally lifting from this heavy heart.
This bar stool's my pew on a Saturday night. The bartender's a preacher and the whiskey's a lie. That shows me the truth I've been trying to hide. In this congregation of the broken and the tried, we don't pass a collection plate, but we all pay our debts. With confessions and connections and honest regret. I know it ain't holy by traditional means, but there's something sacred in these dimly lit scenes where strangers become brothers through shared pain, when nobody's judging and nobody's vain. Yeah. This is my whiskey church, where the broken come to pray, where the jukebox plays the hymns that get us through the day. This is my whiskey church, ain't no steeple, ain't no cross, just a bunch of souls searching for what they lost, finding something bigger in the bottom of a glass. This is my whiskey church, and I'm part of the mass. There's a man at the end of the bar, comes every night. Lost his son in the war, can't make it right. In his mind, in his heart, in his shattered world, says this place is the only one where he feels heard. We don't offer platitude or empty prayers, just presence, just listen, just showing we care. The woman next to me just lost her wife, says the actual church told her she was living in strife. But here nobody cares who you love or why, we're all just humans trying to survive. This is our whiskey church, where we come as we are. We're broken, ain't shameful, and you don't have to be a star. This is our whiskey church, where grace flows like wine, where we hold each other up when we can't hold the line, finding redemption in community and truth. This is our whiskey church, I found in you. Hey, I ain't saying this is healthy, ain't saying this is right, but it's real and it's honest on a lonely night, when you can't face the silence of your empty home, when you need to be around people so you don't feel alone. Yeah, I know I should probably find another way to deal with all this pain that won't go away, but until I'm strong enough to face the light, this whiskey church will hold me through the night. The bartender's name is Mike, been sober 10 years. Says he works here to remember all his fears, stay connected to the people who are where he was, to offer hope without judgment, all because he thinks he's better. He just wants to show that there's a way out when you're ready to go. He tells me every night you don't have to stay here. There's a real church down the street if you can face your fear of being seen, of being known, of asking for help. And I know he's right, but I can't see myself sitting in those pews with people who got it together, while I'm still just trying to survive the weather of my own mind, my own storm, my own fight. So for now, this whiskey church gets me through the night. This is my whiskey church, but I'm looking for the door to walk into the sunlight, and I need this anymore. This is my whiskey church, my temporary home, until I'm strong enough to face the world alone. Or maybe not alone, but with real community. This whiskey church is teaching me I need more than just whiskey. I need connection, I need love, I need grace, and maybe I can find that in a different place. So this is my last sermon from this bar stool pew. I'm walking out of whiskey church into something new. Thanks for holding me when I couldn't stand. Thanks for being my brothers, for understanding. But it's time for me to find a different kind of grace, one that doesn't leave me hung over facing disgrace. The whiskey church saved my life, that's the truth. But now it's time to graduate from this booth to real healing, real dealing with my pain. The whiskey church was shelter from the rain, but the storm is passing and I'm ready for the sun. There's a worn-out Bible sitting on my dashboard. Belonged to my mama, got her name written in the corner. She carried it to church every Sunday of her life. Through the cancer, through the chemo, through the fight. Now it rides with me wherever I may roam, like she's still praying me back home. I ain't the church-going type, I ain't been in years, but I keep a Bible close to calm my fears. When the road gets dark and I lose my way, I can almost hear her voice start to pray. Got Mama's Bible on the dashboard, rosary on the mirror. Her prayers are paving roads when the end feels near. She believed I could be. Got Mama's Bible on the dashboard watching over me. She made me promise right before she closed her eyes. Said, baby, don't you waste this life with alibis. Be the man your daddy never was. Break that chain. Love your kids better than you will love. Break through the pain. I held her hand and swore I'd try with everything I had. Even though I'd spend most my life becoming just like my old man. I've been fighting that battle every single day, trying to honor what she asked in every way. It ain't easy breaking cycles that run deep, but the Bible reminds me of the promises I keep. Got Mama's Bible on the dashboard, picture on the seat. Her memory's a compass when I'm feeling incomplete. I drive these highways knowing I ain't in this alone. Got Mama's Bible on the dashboard, showing me home to a life worth living, to the truth she helped me see. Got Mama's Bible on the dashboard, saving me. I pulled over last night, somewhere in Tennessee. Opened up her Bible, and a letter fell on me. In her handwriting, must have written it before the end. Said, I know you're hurting, and I know you'll hurt again. But pain's just proof you're human, proof you care. And God's not in the church, son, He's everywhere. He's in your laughter, So I keep on driving with her Bible by my side, through the valleys and the mountains, through the tears I've cried. And when I feel like giving up or turning back around, I remember her sweet voice, that holy sound, telling me to keep going, telling me to have faith that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, that I ain't too late. Got Mama's Bible on the dashboard, her love in my soul. Her prayers are the reason I ain't lost control. I drive these highways knowing she's still holding on. Got Mama's Bible on the dashboard, carrying me along to redemption, to forgiveness, to everything she prayed I'd find. Got Mama's Bible on the dashboard, and her love is my guide. Thank you, Mama, for the Bible. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for believing when nobody else cared. I'm still driving, still surviving, still trying to make you proud, with your Bible on the dashboard, and your voice still loud in my heart, in my heart, in my heart. Got my first tattoo at 17. Thought I was so damn tough. Eagle on my shoulder, like that would be enough to make me a man, to show the world how to ride. Now I'm 38 with sleeves full of reasons why I survived. Every mark tells a story that I don't always tell. Some are heaven sent, most were carved in hell. There's names I can't erase and dates I won't forget, mistakes written in ink that I ain't conquered yet. But every single one reminds me I'm still here, still breathing, still believing through the fear. These tattoos are testimonies written on my skin. Every line's a battle that I didn't think I'd win. Some are prayers, some are scars, some are war wounds that I wear. These tattoos are testimonies that I'm still here, still fighting, still climbing out of the dark I've been. These tattoos are testimonies of where I've been. Got my mama's birthday ink right above my heart. She passed 3 years ago, that's when I fell apart. Started using anything to numb the pain inside. Lost my job, my home, my kids, my pride. But I got a face tattoo to remind me every day that she didn't raise a quitter, didn't raise me that way. There's a cross on my chest from the day I almost died. Wrapped my truck around a tree, but something pulled me from inside. The wreckage gave me a second chance to make things right, so I tattooed that promise on my skin that night. Tattoos are testimonies written on my skin. Every line's a lesson that I had to learn again. Some are hope, some are People see the ink and think they know my story, think it's all rebellion, all the guts and glory. But if they look closer, they would see every mark's a memory of who saved me from myself, from the edge, from the fall. These tattoos are testimonies that I gave it all. Only God can judge me running down my spine. Not because I'm righteous, but because I'm trying to live with the mistakes I made and the hearts I broke, to be better than the man I was before I woke up from the nightmare that I call my life. These tattoos remind me every day to fight. Last one I got says keep going on my wrist. Got it on the anniversary of when I almost quit living, breathing, trying to make it through. Now I look at it when I don't know what to do, and it reminds me that I made it this far. These tattoos on my map beneath the stars. These tattoos are testimony written on my soul. Every mark's a chapter in a story being told. Some are pain, some are gain, some are battles lost and won. These tattoos are testimonies and I'm not done. Still healing, still feeling my way through the spin. These tattoos are testimony of where I've been and where I'm going. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, these tattoos are testimonies, and my story ain't finished yet. Every scar's a testimony that I lived through my regrets, and I'm still here, covered in testimony. Found myself on a gravel road at 3 in the morning. Headlights cutting through the fog like prayers without warning. Had a fifth of Jack half empty, sitting on the bench seat, and a loaded question in my head about the man I used to be. The radio's playing some old gospel song my grandma used to sing, and I'm talking to the darkness about everything. I've been running from the mirror, been hiding from the truth, been wearing all this mess since I was a youth. But out here on this gravel with nobody around, I can finally hear the silence and it's a holy sound. I found grace on a gravel road tonight, somewhere between the darkness and the morning light. Ain't got no answers, but I'm finally asking right. Found grace on a gravel road, found grace in the fight against myself, against the man I used to be. Found grace on a gravel road and it found me. Yeah, I'm good. Call last Tuesday, says she's getting married in the spring. Asked me if I'd walk her down the aisle, if I could do that. Been 4 years since she's spoken more than pleasantries and weather, and I broke down on the phone thinking maybe we can put it back together. That's why I'm out here driving with no destination plan, trying to figure out if I'm worthy of holding her hand. I've been sober 90 days, but it feels like 90 years, fighting every demon, drowning in these tears. But something on this gravel road is whispering my name, saying, boy, you're not too broken, you can change it. I found grace on a gravel road tonight, somewhere between the wreckage and the light, learning how to stand up from my knees and fight. Found grace on a gravel road, found strength in the night to face tomorrow, to be the man she needs to see. Found grace on a gravel road and it's saving me.
something sacred in the dust that rises from these wheels. There's something honest in the way the gravel makes me feel. Like I'm being ground down to what's essential and what's real. And maybe that's the point of all this pain, to strip away the pride until only truth remains. To drive until you're empty so you can feel again. My daddy used to say, son, when you lose your way, take a drive down a back road, let the dust settle and pray. Not the kind of prayer they teach you in a church pew, but the kind that comes from breaking, from knowing you can't make it through on your own strength, on your own will. That's when you find God, when you're standing still in the middle of nowhere with nowhere left to run. I found grace on a gravel road at dawn, somewhere between what's broken and what's gone. Found the courage to admit where I went wrong. Found grace on a gravel road, found where I belong. Not in the past, but in the man I'm fighting to become. Found grace on a gravel road, and the journey's just begun. Yeah, the journey's just begun. And I'm heading toward the sun on this gravel road, carrying grace like a load that finally feels light. After so many heavy nights, I found grace on a gravel road tonight. If I could write a letter to the kid I used to be, sitting in that trailer park dreaming he'd break free, I'd tell him that he will, but not the way he thinks. The freedom doesn't come from money or the drinks. So someday used to numb the pain of growing up too fast. I'd tell him to hold on, that this won't always last. Dear younger me, I know you're scared and alone. I know you think the trailer is the only home you'll ever know. But trust me when I say, there's a whole world waiting past these angry days. These are letters to my younger self, words I wish I'd heard when I was drowning in the silence of unspoken hurt. Letters to my younger self, telling him it's okay to cry, to break, to fall apart, to find another way. If I could reach back through the years and hold him when he fell, I'd write these letters to my younger self. I'd tell him that the beatings aren't his fault at all, that his daddy's anger has nothing to do with how small or weak or worthless. I'd left my hometown with yesterday's blood on my hands. No more. Every mile I'm driving carries the weight of who I was, and these lines on the highway look like the veins of my regret. That empty bottle on the seat's a silent witness to how much I drank, trying to forget the taste of truth. But the silence screams louder than any song, and loneliness teaches what no sermon ever could. I'm tired of running from the mirror, tired of pretending it don't hurt. I'm blood and dust, I'm the road and the pain, I'm the last breath of a love that got lost in the rain. Can't go back, but I can keep moving ahead with my heart in pieces, but still beating in my chest. I'm blood and dust, and that makes me human. A sinner searching for life. the bottom of the bottle and the future that we dreamed. I chose wrong. So many times she stopped keeping count. Watched the light in her eyes go out like a candle in the wind. Now I sleep alone with the radio on, 'cause the silence reminds me of everything I destroyed. But some days the rain washes a little of the guilt away. Some nights I feel something bigger than my mistakes. A voice that don't condemn, just invites to try again. To be whole, I'm blood and dust. I'm the road and the pain. I'm the last breath of a love that got lost in the rain. Can't go back, but I can keep moving ahead with my heart in pieces, but still beating in my chest. I'm blood and dust, and that makes me human. A sinner searching for light in the middle of ruin. And if I fall 1,000 times in the same damn hole, and if these scars never really heal at all, I'll keep on walking with my bare feet bleeding. 'Cause redemption ain't a destination, it's a road, it ain't arriving clean. It's having the courage to get dirty trying. I pulled over on the shoulder to watch the sunrise. Sky was painted orange and purple like an ancient promise. And I thought maybe I don't need to be perfect. Maybe I just need to be real. Except that I'm made of mistakes, and also of love, of falls, and also of the will to stand back up. Blood and dust, I'm the wound and the cure. I'm the echo of a scream that finally found its peace. Can't erase the past, but I can ride tomorrow with trembling hands, but my heart on fire. I'm blood and dust. That makes me true. A broken man walking toward a whole new view. When the sun goes down again, I'll still be here, breathing, bleeding, living, 'cause that's all I got. And it's more than enough. If I could write a letter, the kid I used to be, sitting in that trailer park, dreaming he'd break free. I'd tell him that he will, but not the way he thinks. The freedom doesn't come from money or the drinks. You'll someday used to numb the pain of growing up too fast. I tell him to hold on, that this won't always last. Dear younger me, I know you're scared and alone. I know you think that trailer is the only home you'll ever know. But trust me when I say, there's a whole world waiting past these angry days. These are letters to my younger self, words I wish I'd heard when I was drowning in the silence of unspoken hurt. Letters to my younger self, telling him it's okay to cry, to break, to fall apart, to find another way. If I could reach back through the years and hold him when he fell, I'd write these letters to my younger self. I'd tell him that the beating's on his fault at all, that his daddy's anger has nothing to do with how small or weak or worthless. There's a wooden cross hanging from my rearview mirror. My grandma gave it to me before she passed, said it would protect me. But she didn't know that the devil I carry don't come from outside, comes from within. Got my face and my voice. I was driving drunk on the highway when the sun went down, and I thought if I crash right now, at least the pain stops. But I didn't crash, I pulled over and I cried like a lost child, like a defeated man. And I looked at that cross, swinging and thought, is there still salvation for someone who got this lost? I carry the weight of the cross, I nailed myself, carry the marks of the nails I hammered in. Can't blame nobody for the hell I created, but maybe, just maybe, I can learn to forgive myself. I carry the weight of the
I stop now, none of this will mean nothing. She found me in the gutter of some nameless town. Said she still saw something good behind my empty stare. Took me to her house, gave me coffee and a blanket. Didn't judge me, didn't save me, just stayed there, present like my existence was still worth something. And that night I slept without nightmares for the first time in years. In the morning I wanted to run, cause kinda scares those who only know pain. But she held my hand and said you don't have to run no more. And something inside me broke like a dam, giving way, and I collapsed and she held me up. I carry the weight of the cross I nailed myself, carry the marks of the nails I hammered in. Can't blame nobody for the hell I created, but maybe, just maybe, I can learn to forgive myself. I carry the weight of the cross, but I won't give up, cause if I stop now, none of this will mean nothing. There's a thin line between giving up and surrendering. Giving up is running, surrendering is accepting help. I spent my whole life thinking I had to do it alone, that asking for help was weakness, that showing pain was failure. But real strength isn't saying I can't do this anymore, and opening your hands and letting someone else hold on with you. Today I woke up and didn't drink, it was the 10th day straight. Wasn't easy, every hour feels like a century of fighting. I look at that cross and think about my grandma and everything she believed about me when I didn't believe. Maybe faith ain't certainty, maybe it's just courage to wake up every day and try again. I carry the weight of the cross, but now I ain't alone. Carry the scars, but they tell the story that I survived. I ain't the man I was, ain't the man I'm gonna be. I'm who I am right now, in this exact moment, trying. I carry the weight of the cross, but my shoulders getting strong. And one day I'll be able to walk without stumbling. The cross swings in the rear view, and I keep going forward. One mile at a time, one breath at a time, one choice at a time.